viewers, welcome to Halal Chopsticks. I'm Sablim from Tunisia. There is a well-known travel record in the Arab world. This travel record is known as The Adventures of Ibn Battuta. In this book, Ibn Battuta mentions a famous Chinese city. The city that he refers to is Quanzhou City, Fujian Province. I am here now and will show you the culture of the city mentioned by Ibn Battuta. What kind of city is Quanzhou? Why is it so closely related to the Arab civilization? Answers to these questions can be found from Quanzhou delicacies. So today, we get to enjoy Quanzhou's delicious food. Let's get started now. Quanzhou, located in the south of Fujian Province, China, is a rich coastal city. It is part of Fujian's Golden Triangle, together with Jiangzhou and Xiamen. In Quanzhou, you can smell the salty sea breeze in the air. It acts as a guide to find the most delicious seafood. The first place that has ties to Arab civilization is Shumpu village in Quanzhou. It is an ancient fishing village with a history spanning thousands of years. Houses built in this way regulates temperature that ensures that they are warm in winter and cold in the summer. The people in Quanzhou call these types of houses oyster shell houses. Women living in such houses in Shumpu village all wear beautiful ornaments on their heads. Such ornaments are known as circled hairpins. They were introduced by Pu Shaogeng, an Arab businessman in the Southern Song dynasty. The local villagers also claim to be descendants of Pu Shaogeng. According to the historical records, over the centuries in the Song, Yuan, and Ming dynasties of China, Quanzhou was the largest oriental port-in for traders from the Middle East. Thousands of Arabs and Persians came to do business, work, and live in Quanzhou, effectively leaving a lot of historical relics here. Such historical relics can still be seen everywhere in and around the city of Quanzhou. Among these historical relics, the most representative one of them all is a temple, the Qingqing Temple. Qingqing Temple of Quanzhou is the oldest existing mosque in China, and its historical construction can be traced back to 1009 AD. In Qingqing Temple, there is a stone inscription of an imperial edict from Emperor Chudi. The stone inscription says that the emperor demanded the government at that time to protect Islamic monasteries and locals and to treat Muslim businessmen with equality and amiability. There are many Arabic inscriptions in the Qingqing Temple, but the Quanzhou Overseas Transportation History Museum owns the largest number of Arab cultural relics in Quanzhou. Now we are at the Quanzhou Overseas Transportation History Museum, which is the most famous museum in the city. On the second floor of the museum, there is a special exhibition hall of Arab Persians in Quanzhou. Here we see more Arabic tombstones and stone coffins from ancient Quanzhou. Many of these tombstones are engraved in both Chinese and Arabic. Hello, Miss Wang.
Hello.
The question I have for you, and what I wonder is, what kind of trade the Arabs did after arriving in Quanzhou City via the Maritime Silk Road?
Well, actually, according to literary records, some of the goods they brought were local products from the Middle East West Asia region. The greatest number of goods were likely medicines and spices. From ancient literature and maritime wrecks, we can see that they were engaged in very large-scale spice trading in Quanzhou. A profound impact of this trade was that they intermarried with locals and lived together generation after generation. Therefore, Quanzhou people and Arabs have a very long tradition with each other. It's very special.
I didn't expect there'd be such a long and deep history of interaction and integration between Arabs and the people of Quanzhou in the ancient times. A story such as this one, just like the fried oyster I just tasted in the restaurant, leaves a lasting flavor and keeps you wanting more. But our exploration of Quanzhou's delicacies is luckily not over yet. There are still many more wonderful things to discover in and around Quanzhou. What's this?
It's called martabak.
Martabak?
Yes.
Legend has it that martabak was invented by famous general Zhu Tang during the construction of ships in Maui, Fujian. Speaking of Quanzhou people and how they live life, you may wonder how locals worked alongside Arabs in Quanzhou city to grow their trade along the Maritime Silk Road. The answer of this question lies in a tree that is approximately 1,000 years old. Let's continue our discovery and go check it out. On the West Street, there is a 1,000-year-old temple called Kaiyuan Temple. The temple was built during the Tang Dynasty of China by Huang Shugong, a wealthy businessman in Quanzhou who owned a large mulberry orchard. There is a wonderful urban legend about the Kaiyuan Temple. After an encounter and being enlightened by a traveling monk, Huang Shugong saw white lotuses everywhere on his mulberry trees. After he saw that, he donated about 14 hectares of the mulberry orchard to build Kaiyuan Temple. The legend believes to be a fictional one, but according to research, Huang Shugong did exist in history. He was the second-generation ancestor of Ziyun Huang clan on the West Street of Quanzhou. The clan shared mulberry planting, sericulture, and silk reeling and weaving techniques with locals, so that Quanzhou could keep supplying silk to Arab and European markets. This was a great contribution to the prosperity of Quanzhou as a link to the Maritime Silk Road. After the sun sets, locals in Quanzhou like to spend their time in local tea houses, drinking tea guanyin or oolong tea while listening to the local sounds of Southern ancient rhyme. Let's experience the life of Quanzhou locals. How long have you been practicing Southern ancient rhyme?
Me? It has been a really long time. I started practicing very early when I was in my mother's belly. The music for my prenatal education was Southern ancient rhyme.
According to Ms. Wan, Southern ancient rhyme originated in the Tang Dynasty. The Southern ancient rhyme has survived the changes of times and still exists today. This ancient form of Southern ancient rhyme has been preserved, touching the hearts of audiences locally and abroad, even yet today. The pipa instrument is usually held horizontally, and is played by hand while handling peppa pigs. It's very close to oud, an Arabic musical instrument. The Quanzhou government applied the Southern ancient rhyme to the United Nations as one of the masterpieces of oral and intangible heritage of humanity. Now it has been successfully approved. Time flies away without delay. I've tasted fried oyster and martabak in Quanzhou. I tried exceptional teas like Tiguanyin and oolong tea and appreciated the unique music of South Ancient Rhine. As we come to an end, I'm a little reluctant to leave. But to be honest, compared with Quanzhou's exquisite and delicious cuisine, what I will miss even more is the shared beauties of Chinese and Arab cultures that exists here in Quanzhou. The taste of Quanzhou is exactly what the ocean and what Arab land smells like. It is the Chinese flavor of harmony, symbiosis, openness, and tolerance of different civilizations.